Hello guys and gals, welcome back to another episode of Haunted Gaming. This time we're doing another Pokemon creepypasta. This creepypasta sort of function in a way where there's an actual creepypasta about a person and his thoughts, and it actually goes through a log entry, so basically I'll be intertwining them as we read through. You can look on the screen, I'll actually have a little indicator that'll tell you when there is a log. When there's a log on the screen, you'll know when I'm talking about the log, but you'll be able to figure it out. With that being said, let's go into Lavender Test. I feel so excited. I just got my 4th badge from Erica, the Celadon Gym, and I've never been happier. It's an amazing feeling, especially since the victory was led by Whirly, my Poliwag, and I promised her that if we won, I would treat her, and her alone. Sorry, Flutters and Butterscotch. To some awesome food at the famous Celadon restaurant, where many famous eat-a-thons have taken place. I never could understand how such a small Pokemon could eat so much, but she did. Afterwards, it was pitch black outside, too dark to ride home, especially with all these dangerous nocturnal Pokemon roaming around. I decided to stay the night at the Celadon Hotel, but I knew that no Pokemon were allowed in that hotel, so I put all my Pokemon in the box on Bill's PC. But Poliwag refused to get in her ball. How could I blame her? I knew her all my life. We grew up together, and the bond we have is inseparable. So I just hid her in my bag and checked into my room. When I opened the bag, she was already asleep, so I gently placed her on my bed and we slept together peacefully. February 25th, 1996, 11:35 p.m. The first group of subjects have been captured from the Celadon Hotel, 12 in all. In order to separate the mentally strong from the weak, the first 6 hours will be just complete solitude for the subjects. The weak will kill themselves, the strong will not. Each subject has successfully been marked with their number, and their Pokemon have been taken in captivity for test number 3. Where am I? Whirly? Whirly? She wasn't there. I wasn't in my hotel room anymore. I was on the cold floor of some desolate room, colored in a light purple hue, showing off the emptiness of it. I got up, coming face to face with a bright light that I believed awakened me from my sleep. I heard people yelling and clawing around me, muffled only by the thick walls between us. I looked down, and I saw I was wearing the shirt I slept in yesterday, except a bold number 1 was painted on the front of it. I ripped off the shirt, only to see that it was tattooed all over my chest. Number 1, 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 number 1! I wasn't even worried about where I was or what this meant. Just that if Whirly was okay, if they hurt her, I don't know what I would do. February 26, 1996, 5:52 a.m. 8 have survived, the others have killed themselves. Subject 7, internal bleeding from banging head against wall. Subject 3, clawed his eyes out. Subject 10, broke the light bulb in his room and slit his throat with it. Subject 8, died of cardiac arrest, possibly because she did not have her medication. All other subjects are considered stable, some are retaliating by tearing their clothing, now turning off lights and implementing test number 2, lavender music. Hypothesis says that after listening to the music non-stop for a long time, subjects will lose inhibitions, emotions, and morals. Test will proceed for exactly 15 hours. 6? 7 hours! Maybe days, I don't know. Every single second felt like an hour, with the anxiety and fear that rushed inside me, tearing my stomach apart, or maybe it was my hunger. I don't know. Otherwise, the screaming and the pleas from the desperate people begging to be freed around me didn't help either. Suddenly, the light goes out, and everyone falls silent. Then this music starts playing, rising in tempo like the beginning of a record. It was different. It seemed like the same melody being played over 100 or more times. I counted from the beginning to the end of the phrase. About 2 minutes. It was the only way I was able to tell how much time had passed. After a while, the poor souls around me wailed and screamed. For some of them, I heard large yelps of pain, and then silence. I would follow them. I lost the will to live 400 loops of this wretched song ago. But I need to find Whirly, and it'll all be okay again. Even if I die here. 100. 200. 700. I cannot even stand. Others around me have stopped screaming, knowing it is just a waste of energy. I just need some food. Please. I awoke to the light behind a dark figure who had entered the room. It seems like it doesn't have any legs, that it's a hovering. Wait, what's that in its hand? It's Whirly! A sense of elation comes over me despite my body almost giving up completely. The figure tosses her on top of me and walks out. so relieved. She looks famished though, looks like they haven't been feeding her. But her eyes meet mine. My vision suddenly gets blurred with tears, probably the last of the water in me. I try to tell her, we will get out of here. I promise. But no words came out. All I can do is mouth it to her. The music is still ringing in my ears. I hold Whirly really tight. The music is still ringing in my ears. Has it gotten louder? The music is still ringing in my ears. Tighter. The music is still ringing in my ears. Louder. The music is still ringing in my ears. February 26, 1996, 8:43 p.m. Subjects 4, 9, 11, and 12 have responded positively to the test. They are no longer screaming or resisting the treatment. Subject 2 and 6 have mysteriously died. Blood from their noses, ears, and eyes. Suspect cause of death being subarachnoid hemorrhage. 1 and 5 are still resisting the test. 1 has stopped screaming but is still writhing in resistance to the music, while 5 still attempting to block out the music with his screaming. Regardless, test number 3 will now commence as planned. Subject will be given their Pokemon, and if the music has worked as planned, and has stripped them of their morals, emotions, even the emotional bond they share with that Pokemon, they will eat it as the only source of sustenance. February 27, 1996, 12 a.m., midnight. All the surviving subjects have responded positively to test number 3. Every one of them has been successfully stripped of his or her emotion, inhibitions, and past, and is ready to be reprogrammed. Bring them to the briefing room so that they can be ready for their first mission at Mount Moon. Wow, that was quite fucked. Now, that's a creepypasta that doesn't focus on the gaming side necessarily, and more of the mythos of Pokemon itself. And I guess focus on the game as well too, but that's not the point. Initially, I did frown when I saw Lavender mentioned in the title, as it tends to be quite cliched when it comes to Pokemon creepypasta. I mean, there's so many of them, and when you see Lavender, you instantly kind of get put off. But now that you know, when you read it for its entirety, it's like Poke conspiracies, man. Poke super mindfucks. This would make an awesome, amazing game, even a short movie. But that's not the point of the moment. What do I like about it so much? I like the log and diary system, the multiple perspectives. But I wish in the formatting, initially, it was intertwined. And I guess that was a negative that I was initially picking out. So, you know, you could actually read them, you know, journal, log, journal, until I got to the end, obviously. And, you know, when I got to the end, this was an amazing concept. You know, you read the story first, and then you got this whole mindfuck aspect when you got the shock mystery ending after you read the logs, which just reveals and slaps the reader full of this epiphany as they find out what happened to these poor Pokemon at the end, and just what happened to these broken, shattered people. It turns out to be an experiment that gets people ready for some mission at Mount Moon. Maybe Team Rocket members or something? I don't know, take a guess in the comments below. But it sets itself up nicely for a sequel. The gore I can tolerate, since it fits in perfectly with this, you know, the sick, twisted experimentation performed by this mysterious group. Now, it builds up well, and it didn't feel too short or overstaying, and the events intrigued me as I read further and further, which is important for any creepypasta or any tale in general, versus something that is disjointed and only pushes readers away. Now, what didn't I like about this creepypasta? Nothing really. You know, if I had to go out and nitpick, you know, like I said earlier, this creepypasta was a good mindfuck, and it stayed intriguing all the way through, which is what a good creepypasta should be doing. And I'm definitely looking forward to a sequel or something that leads up to this Mount Moon mission and what could be going on. It's good, you know, it's good sequel bait, and it's not too vague to be a problem. Mystery is a welcome addition to creepypastas if done right. It inspires curiosity. Too much vagueness, you know, taking away too many details can be a problem. I mean, you gotta have detail here and there, but it is good sequel bait, you know, it's not really a cliffhanger. It ends on a, you know, sad note, but albeit creepy note when you look at everything overarching it. But that's really all I can say about March 2013 Creepypasta of the Month. Yes, this has been long due for a while, and I apologize to the author himself. You know, personally, I apologize. I haven't read this way back, I've read it now, but, you know, there's still a couple amazing ones to look forward to that I've missed, but I will go to them too as well. That being said, tell me what you would rate this creepypasta and what would you change to make it better. This has been another episode of Haunted Gaming, and if you like what you saw, then like, comment, and subscribe. This is me, Mudahar, and I'm out.